absolutely beautiful Libra friends, and welcome to your horoscope, your final horoscope for 2022, your December horoscope. We're Libra. It's really fascinating. This month we are going to find ourselves back at the bookend that we were talking about in your annual 2022 horoscope, where we had Venus retrograde at the beginning of the year in the energy of Capricorn in January. And now we're coming back into that Capricorn signature as we close out this year and move into January of 2023. So we have to start this reading, understanding and flashing back to the beginning of this year and see what was changing, what was happening for you around home, family, real estate, property, your foundations, the actual physical structure about where you live, where you find your roots and your grounding. What has changed? Because at the beginning of the year, you were really looking at the value you placed around that, maybe even something around relationships and finances attached to that. So where do we find you as we come into Capricorn season of this year? And then we're going to have Mercury take a retrograde, bringing us into 2023 in this area. So it is a decisive signature that says some decisions need to be made right now, so that as you walk through 2023 with this signature, you know, you've been a bit more sober about the things that have to be happening at home. It's like, wait, hold on, rose-colored glasses lifted. I need to be more sober. I need to be more practical. I need to be more grounded. I need to make some decisions to allow my home life, my domestic life, to really soar and to achieve. But also, where have you needed to take cardinal earth behaviors, right? Where do you need to do that this season? Where do you need to make some physical decisions about material things in your life? Where are you going to go? What are you going to do with that? What is helping you achieve and what is not? So lots of things in the fourth house zone, and we're back to take a look at it. So if you ever listen to these horoscopes or these forecasts and you're like, oh my God, is Libra talking about home again? Yes, we go through cycles where this is a needed focus for you, whatever housing area it is. So if you do listen to multiple forecasts, I want to point that out to you, that yes, you are going to be working in a particular house sometimes for a while, and not like 6 weeks. Sometimes it's a year or 2 years. So you have a lot of information to bring to the table. I'm interested to see what you've done with it, okay? All right, Libra, let's jump in here and see what is going on for you in December. Now, right at the beginning of the month, on the 3rd, we're going to see Neptune stepping out of its retrograde, coming direct at 22 degrees of Pisces. So for you, this lights up the 6th house space. 6th house, health, wellness, including mental health and wellness, daily routines. If you're a freelance person, it can be work for you. It can be things going on in the workplace, like your relationship with your coworkers and things like that. Small pets, gerbils, cats, dogs, I put them in the 6th house. Being of service or having a daily routine where you're maybe taking care of someone, you give care in some way. And I also put your own medical practitioners in this house as well, because who's helping you maintain in a daily way? Do you have a personal trainer? Do you have an app that you use? What are the things you engage with on a daily routine? Now, as Neptune went retrograde in June, one of the things that would have been happening here in your 6th house is that when Neptune is direct, we create this vision, we have an idea or an ideal or a dream for ourselves in this particular area of our life, right? Like, I would like to be healthy in this way, I would like this. But what can happen is that we create in this intangible place, so we can't really grab it. And then Neptune goes retrograde, as it did in June, and things become concrete. It's like, yeah, here's where we are with that dream and that vision and actualizing that thing, right? It's like the vision needs to become tangible. And as it does that, you start to see in your 6th house area, right? Maybe it was like harder to focus on what needed to be done before, and you get really honest about a new dream and a new vision that is actionable and achievable in your 6th house area. Have you had an idea about what you wanted for your health or for your business? But now in December, we see, we got to see that during that retrograde time that you had to get serious about it. Like, it was feet to the fire. And now in December, as Neptune comes back on and it's out of retrograde and it's direct, you have a new vision to create with, but it's based in a lot more tangible reality. So now, from the position of, okay, here's how I navigate my daily routine, you can create the different vision of where you want to go next and have faith in that vision as well, okay? When we get to the 6th, we're going to see Mercury head its way into the energy of Capricorn, joining some Plutonian energy, but Pluto's at the end, Mercury's at the beginning. So as Mercury moves into Capricorn, it's back into your 4th house space. Home, family, real estate, property, your foundation, your parents, right? These kinds of things, the structure of your house, these kinds of things you're going to start to Mercury think about. You'll be focused on them. You'll be making decisions in this particular area, having conversations. And the question is really about being practical, getting organized, and making sure that this area, you're making decisions that allow it to achieve or allow yourself to create a foundation under yourself that's stable enough to stand on. Okay, it's a very poignant in the material world kind of energy because that's how earth signs work. So what decisions are you starting to make as we get to Mercury coming into Capricorn? Now on the 12th, we're going to see Mercury move into its pre-retrograde shadow time at 8 degrees of Capricorn. So I really want you to start paying attention to this 4th house around the 12th, okay? Because the pre-retrograde shadow time is when Mercury slows down and it's going to say, okay, here's what I'm going to focus on during this retrograde path. Pay attention. So between 8 degrees of Capricorn and 24 degrees of Capricorn is where the Mercury retrograde will serve us. And we'll work on this area all the way from the 12th of December until the 7th of February 2023. So just so you can see the span of the cycle that you're really working on getting focused here, being a bit more logical and clear about what's going on in this area. On the 7th, we've got a full moon happening at 16 degrees of Gemini. The full moon says, Libra, that we need to end something, we need to acknowledge something, we need to adjust something. Now, Gemini is a fellow air sign. So, in terms of an emotional thinking sign or an emotional needing to communicate energy, you kind of have a nice resonance here. And for you, this lights up the 9th house space. Publishing, marketing, broadcasting, faith, philosophy, expansion, long distance travel, higher education, any of these things fall in there. So for you, Libra, one of the things I would be kind of curious about, especially with Mars retrograde here, is what are you going back to? And you're needing to take action on it to expand it out. What do you need to review so that you can expand it out? And it's probably a pretty emotional expression of whatever you're trying to put out there. Are you going back into your business and you're like, I need to adjust these things so that I can put them out, right? Mars, what strategy do I need to review? But also Moon in Gemini is I'm emotionally attached to this. I need to talk about how I'm feeling. I need to talk about my ideas. I need to get them out in some way that is productive to my expansion, 9th house. So please let me know, what is it that you have a desire to try to share, to master, to understand, and to express through this 9th house lens, that this particular moon is going to help you course correct to be able to do that. As we get to the 9th, we see Venus now in the energy of Capricorn, and Venus acts as an attracting energy. It's pulling in, right? Venus is not going to fight, not going to force. This is your ruling planet, so it's like attract that in. And Capricorn is a fellow cardinal sign, just like you, so you're attracting in a beginning. You're initiating, calling in a beginning into this 4th house space. Are you looking for a long-term place to live? Are you looking for long-term care for your parents or somebody in your life? Are you willing to take on a long-term commitment? What is it that has a long-term effect of what you're trying to pull in? Do you want to have more PDA and affection and cuddles and snuggles in your house? Do you want your home to feel like something you think is luxurious and beautiful to your own expression, right? We do a lot of life at home. So what are you trying to attract and create in this area? Venus is also very good for, if there have been troubles at home, bringing a little bit of a healing, a little diplomacy, and bringing some harmony into this area as well. On the 20th, Jupiter will move back into the energy of Aries right across the street from you. So 7th house work. Now, we saw Jupiter move into the energy of Aries in May, so things around your relationships began to expand. Did you pull in a teacher or a mentor and they were showing you how to do something so that you could confidently go out and expand your message, expand yourself, take yourself out? What was the significance of the chosen relationship that you brought into your life? Did you get married? Did you get divorced? Where did you meet and you decided you agreed to commit to some kind of relationship in there? Whatever it was, you likely initiated it, or you went on the journey in order to bring the wisdom and the expansion into your life through your relationships. And I hope too, for many of you Libras, that your circle got a little bit wider, just of people who have information and wisdom to share with you. Doesn't mean they're going to stay around forever, but who came into your space. Then we saw Jupiter retrograde get back into that Piscean space, and now it's back. So Jupiter is going to run through Aries between now and May of 2023. Jupiter is expanding these relationships. So what I will suggest to you is to trust the relationships you brought into your life. Trust the quality of them. Trust your expansion out. Trust the significant collaborations and alignments. They mean something and they are timely. And go in the direction of the relationships that you want to have in your life, and go confidently, okay? As we get to the 21st, happy solstice, whichever one you're celebrating, whether it's winter or summer, just happy solstice. The sun moves into the energy of Capricorn. The 4th house is fully lit up for you. And we are at the beginning of a new season to start to get organized, to start to Capricorn, right? See where we need to bring in more self-discipline, tidy up some things in order to have a real efficiency and a maturity and an expertise in this area of our life. For some people, what this can look like as we travel through this Capricorn season is the passage of time, right? You know, do you have a parent who's moved into a different position, or you have a child that's moved into a different position in their life, so you're having to level up and step into your mastery? Were you the student for a long time and now you are stepping into that Capricorn maturity of time and you're becoming the teacher? Whatever it is, the passage of time is also applicable here. Now, to celebrate all the passage of time on the 23rd, we've got a new moon at 1 degree of Capricorn. So plant your seeds of intention of what you would like to begin here. Where do you need to be disciplined? What are you willing to take on more responsibility or obligation for? You know, where are you willing to be responsible enough and mature enough to say, I need help in certain areas? This is still a lunar energy. So where are you willing to begin to collaborate in that way that allows help to come your way? Now, I will tell you, this particular moon is in a square to that Jupiter in Aries, so try to not take on too much, right? Because the idea might be great of, I'm going to go out and live the life I want to live, Stormie, right? But in a very practical earth way, you also have to be able to sleep and to rest and to care for yourself and to do basic things while you're having this expansion. So try not to take on too much as this moon comes around, okay? As we're going to close out the month and the year, ultimately, we see Mercury stepping into its retrograde at 24 degrees of Capricorn. Again, lighting up the signature that we started 2022 with, and now it is time to do a revision of that. Mercury retrograde, you're going to review, re-edit, reconnect, revise, reconcile, right? And it's Capricorn energy. Are you reconciling? Are you getting your books together for the end of the year for taxes? You know, what are you doing? Now, we're going to see Mercury come out of retrograde January 18th, but fully leave its post-retrograde shadow energy February 7th. So whatever you are working on, whatever the 4th house has been for you, especially since the beginning of 2022, know that you've got some solutions and some big decisions to make as we cross that threshold into 2023. All right, my absolutely beautiful Libra friends, I love you a ton, and thank you so much for traveling another year, or maybe it's just been a month we've been together. Whatever it is, thank you so much for choosing to spend time with me. I look forward to walking with you every week and every month of 2023 as well. Have a beautiful month, my friends. Bye.